Good morning, America. This is Dr. Cherry from the Arizona. And before anything, let me clarify here a few things. When I said this is the very last full video and public newsletter that I'm going to offer to the public, this doesn't mean it's my last video or my last newsletter. That's why I'm back. Okay, listen. The reasons to why I decided to do so, it's written in full plain English. If you read it, it's only those who are ready for me that will gain the best of Dr. Cherry. It's that simple as that. Now, you probably noticed I'm red. Yes, I spent all day yesterday at a river, sitting on a chair in the sun, and obviously I got a little bit too much vitamin D. See, I can't really swim and I cannot do much because of my back and my shoulder. I'm going to be going for surgery pretty soon on my shoulder, but that's why I am red like a lobster. All right, now it is very important for you guys to understand that for me to quit is completely and entirely what I teach. There's no quitting here. In fact, the title of the newsletter, There Is Always Light at the End of the Tunnel, speaks for itself. Do you know, when I was at the Royal School of Music, I was working night and day, and I was working also 3 jobs at the same time. So I could afford the musician, the recording studio, and God knows what expenses. And you know what, during those days, I was making enough money just to survive and pay everything else for my goals. And I failed many times, believe me, many times. I could not memorize or do a musical piece the way I wanted to do, and I was really upset. But instead of quitting, there was no quitting with me. I was there banging this piano nonstop. Little did I know that I was going to win the Distinction Cup in front of 400 students. That was the reward of being very strong and not quitting and being focused and being concentrated on the goal. You know, when I tell you your future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thoughts, I always visualized that one day I will be playing piano and everybody would love listening to me. And when I do so, it's the result of so many years of hard work. The same happened when I got my first record accepted by Philips Phonogram in Paris. All I had in mind is to find someone that would take my music to the other level. So I went to Paris. Okay, Boulevard de l'Hôpital, I would never, ever forget. And there I was, Sunday, I only had 2 or 3 days to hang around Paris to find, you know, somebody who would take on my music. And I went to a booth, telephone booth. I opened the book and I just read, you know, whomever could help me. So I called a few numbers since it was Sunday, of course. Much of the people were at home having fun. They don't work on Sunday in France. But I got lucky. I got very lucky. There was one person in that building that actually picked up the phone, because I went there physically first. And of course, the guard kicked my butt and say, hey, come back Monday. But I insisted because it's me. It's the way I am. So next thing I know, I went back there. I bypassed the guard, you know. I didn't flip him, but my mind, I flipped him. Nobody's going to stop me. And then that lady was pretty upset. She was pretty upset. She said, man, when I told her I have a master tape, it's not a regular tape. It's a master tape. I mean, it's a big, huge, thick, heavy recording. And all the musician and everything is in that master tape. It's heavy. So she said, do you know that for you, I have to go to the ocean room? She was rude. But what can I do? I didn't tell her, okay, you know what? I'm here just for a couple. I didn't tell her nothing about my life. So I just swallowed my pride. And she never offered me a cup of coffee or say hello or anything like that. She thought, this guy is going to waste my freaking day. I got things to do. That's why she was working on Sunday. Here I come to disturb her day. So I waited and waited 15, 20 minutes, and then somebody came back. It wasn't her. I mean, it was her, but it wasn't her. Her attitude has completely and entirely changed. Big smile all the way up to her ears, asking me if I wanted to have a cup of coffee and sit down and this and that. So I understood that she liked my work. So we talked about bringing the musician from London and have them to record my music with the French Philharmonica Orchestra in Paris. I was so proud. So I came back. I took the ferry again. And remember, I had to work my ass off, literally, excuse my French, to be able to afford that. And telling all the musicians, yes, we have a recording deal. You guys are going to fly to Paris, and then you're going to be re-recording my songs. You know what? I was very, very happy after so much work, so much investment, so much sacrifice to get finally what I pictured in my mind, a record deal. During those days, we didn't have CDs, old days. And then one day, I had this record in my hand. I was touching it. I was looking at it. I was listening to it. And this record was playing all over in every radio, including my brother's discotheques in the south of France. Me quitting helping you? Never. But at the same time, you need to understand there is a selection. There are people that cannot be helped. I can dance on my head. Any religious fanatic will talk to me by signing me Bible head, portion of the Bible like this on an email. Hello. And then you have other people that are educated idiots, okay, who are very scientifically oriented or atheist, and those are going to ridicule and deny my work. They won't even investigate or honor the word science for that matter. So why would I waste my time? You tell me, what would you do? Would you work for these people knowing you are facing a wall, or will you let the natural selection? Natural selection means that it's only when the student is ready that the teacher will appear. I don't want to throw down your face every day, push down your throat, all the news, all the negative news. If you're not able or willing to understand and make a good use of my work, why am I wasting my precious pearls of wisdom? Not for swines. And some of you are going to say, oh, Dr. Thury, calling people idiots, killing people swine is not going to make. Well, guess what? That's what you get. You get Dr. Thury. You get the truth. You get the real thing. Again, if you're not ready for me, go on TikTok. Simple as that. Anyway, this is the way I am. I could tell you stories. That, you know what, this is why I wrote a book, Beyond the Secrets. When I was writing this book, I was crying. I was crying to remember what I had to go through, what I did, the hell I went through to succeed at the end. because I always knew there is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is no changing idea. There is no changing courses. You are who you are. You've been designed by God to be who you are. And no one's going to change your ways, especially if you've been indoctrinated, if you're fearful, if you have been taught since you're a kid to stay away from astrology and people like Dr. Cherry because you're going to go to hell. You are not reachable, okay, until you raise out of your indoctrination. And as a truth seeker, start to ask questions and challenge yourself out of the pit of fear, ignorance, insecurity, or oversensitivity that you're cursed with. We're all human beings living an experience in this body on this dense physical world that I call hell. And believe me, it has been hell for me. If you were to read my book, Beyond the Secret, you'll get to understand me so much more. But as I always said, my good friend, you can only relate to someone else because of your education, your experiences, your intelligence, and most of all, your natal stars or your UCI, unique celestial identity. So for me to tell you, there is no reason to harass you when you cannot handle it or don't want to handle it. Let the natural selection take place. And guess what? I had so many of you who sign up to that YouTube channel since I decided to do that. That tells me that I was right. But me quitting, that's not Dr. Cherry. Me letting you down, it's not Dr. Cherry. But I'll give you only what you ask for. You know, when you look at the type of news that I predicted, when I tell you be ready, for example, for surprises and shocking news in airport and mention the word airplane, and the next thing you know, people falling out of airplane. Hello, what is it gonna take for you to realize that Nostradamus 16th century divine astrology, the way I practice it, or my students, by using quatrains and obvious keywords, remember airplane, aeronautics, airport, shocking, surprising, mind-boggling. They're saying, if you can get that, and it's plain English, and it's well documented, and it's dated, including the incredible amount of earthquakes that took place, and including the one that happened yesterday. Remember, during my window, earthquakes at or above 6.0 will take place. Well, yesterday we had a 6.8 in South Sandwich Islands, and on the 18th, we had a 6.9 in Wanatu. And remember, that is the window set for August 20th, 20. And the newsletter title tell you, SOS to the World, August 20th. That was produced on the 14th of August. And so is the video. There's only so much I can do to help you. Now it's up to you to do your homework like I did. I study. Well, you're going to say, well, Dr. Cherry, I have no time. I have no patience. You will find every excuses in the world not to better yourself, not to read, not to educate yourself. Instead, you're going to waste it on Facebook fighting with a bunch of losers that are infected, that will try everything they can because they're insecure, they have ego problems, or they just don't like you. Okay? This is life. That's what you're dealing with. So why not instead focusing and concentrating into the light? You know, there is no accident for God to impose all this mess upon us. This incredible, difficult, deadly pandemic that we are in. People losing their life through earthquakes magnitude never experienced before. Crazy, infecting lunatic doing things, criminals that has never been experienced before, as I predicted it would happen during that mad dance of evil. And now People from the other side of the world in Afghanistan, their life is dying. Nobody expected it. From the top to bottom of the US government and in the world, nobody expected it. It was a big, shocking surprise for the world. And I let you know, I gave you the timing to expect surprises. In fact, yesterday, when we went back to our car, my friend's car, because he drove, he was so upset. I said, what's wrong? He said, well, I asked you about your stars and you said, surprise, guess what? I thought I locked my truck and I didn't, and somebody stole my backpack where I had all my stuff in it. When I tell you, be careful, listen to your friends. And I'm giving you the proof. Be ready for a surprise. Shocking news at the universal and personal level. Did you get your surprise? Did you get your surprise? Did you hear about a friend having a good or bad surprise, depending on your karma, my good friend? That's what it means to be a truth seeker. And unless you focus and you concentrate towards your goals, since this nasty pandemic is literally forcing you, hypothetically speaking, to die, use it as a trampoline, as a stepping stone to educate yourself. Again, looking for another road if this one don't work because you're insecure, right there, you're not using your subconscious properly. Don't think of another road. Work towards your goals. I have goals. You have goals. You know, one day I thought, I'm getting old, 72, 71 and a half now, August. Excuse me. Years are going to go fast. I might have 10, 15 years if I'm lucky. I still want to serve you. I still want to share my life with you wherever I will be. I will take videos. I will write newsletter. It's going to be much more light, much more love than asking you to deal with all my SOS to the world, negative, deadly window if you're not ready or if you can't handle it. So I decided to change course a little bit. Okay, I'm still me. I'm still going to divulge the undiluted truth. But once I thought I'd like to be a boat captain. So in my mind, I have a lot of diploma on my walls right here, right now, from the Royal School of Music, Who is Who in America, Los Angeles Times, Marquis Who, and all sorts of, you know, wonderful things that I accomplished. But each one of them, I had it in my head. Picture it. I saw that diploma, you know, Louis Chury, boat captain. I saw that diploma. I have it now. It was hard because I was extraordinarily busy taking care of all of you, writing, making video, but I never said I didn't have time. I always found the time to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours if I had to, every day, learning all about navigations, learning all about the rules of the roads or the water, learning about all the signs, like I have learned astrology. Now I'm learning the sign of the road because one day I'm going to have a big, huge, beautiful boats. Okay, I had plenty of boats, don't get me wrong. Okay, but I want a big, beautiful boat. It's a picture in my head. Now remember, my good friend, your future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thoughts. All I can do at that point is, again, if you're not ready for me, or you cannot afford spending a lot of money on my services, and I understand $350 or $700 is a lot of money. Put your hands on a $20 book that you can afford. Take a chance. Take a chance right now. Get out of this darkness, of this negativity, that insecurity, that oversensitivity that may stop you moving forward towards that light. Get the book, and understand what I've been through. And then from there, you understand and realize the importance of focusing on your goals. No excuses. Can't do it. Don't have time. I have to work, take care of the baby. I got to put food on the table. Don't give me that bull, because I've been through this and worse. Yet I always reach my goals. And you can do the same, because you're not different than me. I have my gift. You have your gift. And you can ask any famous person who's made it to the top in their own field, okay, how they did it. They certainly didn't do it by wasting their lives away, sleeping, bitching, being insecure, and finding excuses. This is how you succeed in life, by putting a goal. If you have no goals, you have no life. Because now decisions are going to make you instead of you making decisions. That's why I'm asking you. You take me as an example. Or you're going to say, but Dr. Thury, you're not on top of the world. You're not all over the place. But actually, I am my own way, because in my mind, I know the Great Coast, one very famous person has to make. When you get very famous and you're only a kid and you have no idea of what life's going to throw at you, you have no idea of the infected, greedy people who now own your time in your life. To me, freedom, breathing, and health, including love, loving my wife, loving my dog, loving all that I have, and loving all that I am, is much more precious than to be on top of the world, being very famous, having tons of money, yet many of them end up killing themselves. So somebody must be right. So be careful what you wish for, my good friend, because one of these days, it'll be right here in your face, because this is how it works. That's the secret of life. That's why my book, Beyond the Secret, explain. Put your hand on this book. You're going to waste $20 on whatever. Do something that's going to help you to grow psychically, to become a better, a wiser, a stronger person, so that at the end, instead of being jealous and insecure and over emotional and finding excuse not to like me, at the end, you're going to become better than me. And that's all I'm offering you. The option to be better than me. All right. That's all there is. You've been waiting. You've been patient. Even though that I said I would not do anything, I'm going to do a little bit of a tarot for you. We're going to check the energy of the day. I have absolutely no idea what this card is. Remember, I don't cheat. I don't lie with my tarot. There is the card. That's going to give you an energy that I'm going to translate for you. And that's what it is. You see the old guy? The old guy is me when I was sad, without love, without self-esteem. That's me. All I wanted is to find myself, is to find my soulmate, is to find happiness, find all my strengths. It took me many years to find me. And look above. That's your guardian angel. That's somebody that loves you, that is gone on a different level. Even if you don't understand or don't believe it, that energy is there. That energy is the one that led you to me. That energy is the one that is leading you to your next wishes. It's somebody that really loves and cares for you. So it could be somebody very close that's gone when you were a kid. It could be anytime, anywhere, somebody that left you. Oh God, that's what I'm trying to say. Don't stay in the dark. Don't be afraid. Don't be negative. Don't be insecure. Don't be jealous. Don't be negative. Don't feed the reptilians. Find yourself. Find love. Find your mate. Find who you are. Listen to the above. Listen to the light. Because you know what? There is always light at the end of the tunnel. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you. I'm asking you again, read the newsletter, because there is interesting things to read in there. And once you're ready for me, I'll be there for you. Until then, God bless you. Bye-bye.